Alright, Zima here, going to show you a demonstration. Even made a new character for this. I'm going to show you how to promote instantly to guard when you first start the game, so you don't waste your time and all that nonsense. There's also all your setups and whatnot, and all your buttons, in addition to the guard test. I will show you how to pass the first mission, as well as your guard test. Okay, so, for starters, what I just did can be done by your keyboard. Your number pad, you can zoom in. Okay, you can zoom out with number 3, zoom in with 9, spin this way with the star, and this way with that little slash thing. You can also get up closer with the plus, and back with the minus. And this is, of course, being used on a laptop, so don't quote me on this. Let's go to our display. I don't remember what you need to have this set on, but I believe you need to have it set to off. For graphics, if you have a good graphics card, then you can put it on graphics or custom or whatever. But if you have a fairly decent one but can't run it on the top specs, then you want to run on and on the lowest resolution. I can run it on better stuff, I just choose not to, because sometimes the server can be really laggy. So, alright, let's get started. Alright, going into the first battle. If you're familiar with Dynasty Warriors at all, then if you have not played Dynasty Warriors 5, then you probably need to, because all of the weapon styles and moves are based off of that game. The spear that the character is using right now is Zhao Yun's spear in Dynasty Warriors 5. So again, if you don't have Dynasty Warriors 5 and you're not familiar with it, then you probably should get it. It's for the PS2. And play it for a little while to familiarize yourself with the weapon. Right now you're going to see stuff like attack and damage. Attack and damage are not the same thing. Let me clear this up for you right now. Attack deals more damage to enemy players, such as NPCs, other players, troops, stuff like that. Damage affects buildings, basically, such as juggernauts, towers, things that aren't living, machinery, stuff like that. And then, of course, you have defense, life, which are self-explanatory, and then you have Muso. Muso is your special stuff, so best to keep that in mind. Real quick, for attack and damage, you will only want to have damage on your weapon for capture and destroy. For everything else, you don't need damage. Oh, also pay attention when you get a new weapon. You might want to pay attention to your slots, because that will come into play later, which I will explain during the guard test. Also, I need to tell you right now that this game is meant to be played on a controller. So if you're playing on a keyboard, this might not be for you. First of all, when you have a lot of troops like this, you want to gather as many as possible towards you. And press square, or if you're using a keyboard, then press J. Also, to toggle your map like this, to zoom in, is the start button on your controller. I believe it's the letter M key on your keyboard. Also, you might want to call your lieutenant, which on a controller you can do with the select button if you're using a PS3 controller. And if you're using the keyboard, then press the comma key. Now we're going to talk about charges. Familiarize yourself with all of the charges. You're going to have 6 for every weapon. You will always have your C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, and C6. Normal attacks are done with J on the keyboard and square with the controller. That's a normal combo attack. Also, when I mentioned C1, C2, C3, C is short for charge. You need to familiarize with terms in this game if you're going to play it. So, yes, there's even jump charges, which you can do by pressing X and then triangle. To jump charge, you press the jump key and then triangle on your controller. I'm not exactly sure which buttons those are on the keyboard. I believe jump is in, and then K. To do C5 and C6, you're going to need a flask combo, which we'll get into later. Again, gather as many enemy troops as possible, because with the instructions being that long, you don't really have a lot of time. So you want to defeat 200 enemies. Yeah, 200 enemies. And I'm lagging like fuck because of my recorder right now, but that's okay. Ooh, that was a laggy spike. That was a laggy spike. Uh-oh. For a minute there I thought I froze. Ugh. And there's 200. But to get the captain to come out, you have to clear the map. Like that. You can also do this. By the way, that item that you see there is called an Imperial Seal. If you pick up an Imperial Seal, you have 10 seconds of extra Muso, which are pretty effective when you use for promotion tests. Alright, and that was the first exam. Hopefully that covered everything. Now we're going to go to the guard exam.